Welcome back to the Unanimous Decision Podcast. I am your host, Deepalm. Follow me on Blue Sky. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me across all the socials at Dpalm66. Follow the show at UDPod. Follow the entire MTR network at, you guessed it, the MTR network. You found us, don't you dare lose us. Subscribe on iTunes. Subscribe on Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube. That's right, YouTube. Dragging this podcast in 2015 at one episode at a time. You can follow us there at UDPod66. Please follow, like, comment, all the things that help the machines get it to more people, because the people you know deserve a better sports show. We're here to give it to them. As always, brought to you by the good folks at the MTR Network. Make sure you check out all the other offerings, including Ro and Chris back talking about movies, and we're going to see some nerd stuff popping off as we head towards Doomsday. But that's why you're here today. You're here to talk about sports. You're talking about the friend of the show. Well, friend is strong. What's up, Nata? How's it going, brother?
What do you mean friend is strong? The fuck you mean by that? That's messed up, man. Come on now.
Put your guest on his heels to start the show. It's
clearly
showbiz trick.
There you go. There you go, Girl of Monsoon. There you go. Clearly, I'm the Heenan.
You know what I've realized is,
what?
So I was setting up the recording. I was like doing all the pre-show labeling. When this show comes out is my son's exact 3-year birthday.
Yes. Oh wow.
I didn't even think about that till I was like, 8/18. I was like, oh no. So 3 years ago, and this is when it comes out, I had given myself a mild concussion because I slammed my head into the side of my wife's car trying to get into it too quickly. But I navigated us to the hospital, and Matthew Benjamin changed my life forever. And that's a cool thing to talk about. A cool thing to think about. We had a party this weekend. We had 20 people in my damn house, and it didn't feel too full. It didn't feel crowded. It felt full, if that makes sense.
Now 20 feels like a really good number, especially for like a three-year-old birthday party.
A lot of kids running around. My parents came up. Her parents came up. Like it was really nice. It was a really great day. Thank you for all our friends who were able to come through and celebrate the kiddo. And my nervous system's finally regulating, because like my house is perfect for like 5 to 8 year old kids. Like the 3 and like the lower than that, I'm like, there's a lot of perils, a lot of
so how much prevention? I need to know how much prevention did this require?
None really. Like, first of all, shout out to Susan. She did everything. She got everything going.
Okay,
she soaked it all up. Everything was fantastic. Worked beautifully. Everything flowed. But in our house, like when we bought the house, our closing agent was like, I used to live in that neighborhood. Your house was the house everyone used to party at. Like we used to have like gathering. So we'd never really tested that. So this is the first time I was like, we could have. Dude, we had 20 people in our house in the backyard, and like no one was upstairs. It was all on the first floor. It kind of flowed. It was really nice. It was a really nice day. So I think maybe a tradition of throwing the kid's birthday here, unless it drives my wife insane, which it could have.
Yeah, give it time. Give it time.
Yeah, but I do want to say something. It is August. This is historically the time when sports are a little slow. We're in NFL training camp. We're in baseball, which no one cares about. So I just want to give a big thank you to my wife for leaving town. So for the next 2 weeks, you're going to get different podcasts from me. You're going to get some things that are in the MTR archives playing on this feed. Excited for you guys to hear them out. But yeah, man, I'm going to be solo dadding. It's going to be interesting because we told Matthew what's happening, and he understands, and he does not like it. So we're going to see how this little camp dad goes. It's going to be fun, though.
No, again, of course he understands, and he's not going to like it because he's going to understand, like, this is boot camp now. We are
not even. It's not even that. It was like we told him, and he's like, "Okay, that's cool." And then later on, it was just me and him sitting. I was like, it's just me and you for like a week and so. He's like, I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Mommy's going to work." He said, "What?" It looks like I had 3 heads, and I was like, "Oh, yeah." I remember he's smart. Like I always see these kids a little bright one, so it's a little bit annoying, but. We're not here to talk about the foibles of sitcom dad to come. We're here to talk about sports. And I want to open up by talking about, did you know they did the Field of Dreams game again?
It's not even where they did it. It's not even that they did it again. It's where they did it. If like the sports equivalent of if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there, does it still fall?
They did it on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
They did it. I could not tell you the date it happened because I did not know until people were talking about it days after it happened. I do know this. There were gambling ads on the outfield balls.
Mm-hmm.
And I want everyone to remember this is a story about the Black Sox.
Yes. The 1919 White Sox.
I gotta ask you, Nata, as we've come this far as a nation, there were air quotes for the audio audience. As we come this far as a nation in our view of sports gambling, is the Black Sox now a quaint story about underdogs who would not be held down by the law?
No, but that's only because they don't have proper lobbyists yet. Give it time. Give it time. This is America.
Like the Pete Rose washing project has been really weird to watch. So I'm just like, guys, this has been adjudicated. What are we doing?
No, again, the Pete Rose stuff is really wild to me for a multitude of reasons, because it's not just the gambling. If you really want to look, like, there's other stuff. This is
Brett Kavanaugh calling Dobbs a settled law and then voting the way he votes.
Yes. Like, there's stuff, man. Again, there's a whole other folder of why he should be canceled outside of the gambling.
Yeah,
there's a whole other
just like the universal we can all. Well, here's one we can all agree on. Shouldn't have done that, and we're like, yeah, you're right. And for
there's and there's a whole other one too that should be the line, but it's not, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, that's not the line for everyone. You were able to get more people united on gambling than the other thing, so that speaks to a lot about the sports media profession. But yeah, baseball. I appreciate your efforts this summer. You did a good job, I think. I wasn't paying attention, but I feel like for people who watched the World Cup, you like held the line after that ended, and so I salute you once again. Now go back to your cave until we need you again next summer.
Wait, hold. Next summer, sir.
What's next summer?
You must. No, there probably isn't going to be a season.
Oh my God, you're right. See, look, this is how little I care. I know for a fact there won't be a baseball season next summer. And I'm gonna be like, see you then, guys.
Yeah.
Well, we get to bring back my favorite tradition, Wire rewatch season. I can't wait for next summer now. No, I'm super excited. Matthew's gonna watch The Wire for the first time. I think 4 is old enough.
Oh boy.
Look, real sports are back. Football's back. We're gonna get into some training camp stuff. I want to talk to you about this. I think I'm wrong on what I'm about to say because no one feels the way I feel.
Oh no!
Like, it's the first time that a group thinks I'm like, well, maybe I'm out of touch. Nata, if I come to your school,
yes,
and I win that school a fucking Heisman,
yes,
and let you hold my Heisman, and use my story as a recruiting pitch in this new NIL era. And I don't care who promised what to who. You let some awardless young man take my number, and everybody in America is like, Jayden Daniels is tripping. I'm like, we were all raised differently, apparently, because if you told me, don't worry about it, no one's going to touch your number, guess what I shouldn't have to do now?
Worry about it.
I shouldn't have to fucking worry about it. Exactly. Apparently, they're stressing out this young man on the eve of his return from injury because they just want to be all willy-nilly with, well, promises are made, promises should be kept. Fuck you, Lane. I love when they went to Joe Burrow. He's like, look, I ain't in that shit, but they did tell me no one's wearing 9, and no one's tried to wear 9, so I don't tell you. He kept it gangster as fuck. I was like, yo, Joey's like, it's in my business, but let somebody try to wear my shit. See what happens. Like, that was he threatened them. That was a threat. Like, ain't nobody fucking with me.
Exactly. Because I would.
And that's how I know I think I'm actually right on this now, because everyone's like, his mom's his age. I'm like, I don't give a good goddamn if his mom is his pastor or his dog told him, hey, man, you probably shouldn't take disrespect lying down. Because guess what? You shouldn't take. He's asking for his Heisman back. Good. Asking for injunction and stop using his name, image, or likeness in their advertising or recruitment. Good. You want to give away my number? I was never here.
I'm with you on this. I don't think it's all that crazy because at least at the minimum, there should have been a conversation. Is it that crazy to say, hey, again, Lane goes to him and to Jayden Daniels said, hey, we have this kid. He wants to wear 5. What is it going to take? If there's a simple conversation, I don't think we're here. It's similar to like saying you're going to propose to somebody and you're not asking anybody's parents. It's essentially the same thing. You're asking for permission. You're not asking for forgiveness. ask for the permission. That's all we're doing here. It's a simple consent thing. I didn't think consent was so difficult in 2026. Wait. Let me
It's
stop.
Louisiana and it's Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
I didn't say that second part. Okay. What if he says no? Because I just Nata.
Yeah.
Your boy. If I were Jayden Daniels,
Yeah.
I can't imagine what they'd give me for a yes. You'll give me another degree? You'll let me come make some more money off of LSU? No. What do you have to offer me, LSU?
LSU has money. That's the one thing
They
we've
don't
shown.
have big annual salary money. What are we talking about?
They have enough.
For my number?
They probably do. There's a number that they could come up with.
I've seen the conferences. I've seen the conference in Louisiana. No, it's not.
Look, they managed to find what? They managed to find what? $60 million for that roster almost? They've managed to find a lot of money. You can find a couple more million.
Get to working. Go pass that hat around.
Exactly.
This is a conversation that can't happen in the media. See, the thing is, if they had brought it to him when Brian Kelly told that bold-faced lie, you can wear it, then that'd have been different. But for them to even once it's changed hands, you can't come to me with this question. He's been on campus and done nothing to earn it. Well, who the fuck? Get off my! Don't you ever call this number again?
Like at the minimum, just like
is he on a Heisman short list? No. Then guess what number he can't wear? Go ask him grade 9. Go ask him grade 9.
And again, the Burrow thing is, you're right, though. The Burrow thing is exactly why you can't say that Jayden Daniels is tripping, because Burrow clearly made that threat, laid down the gauntlet, and we know the one guy Lane Kiffin will not try in that state.
Joe Burrow looked at that camera and said, I wish a motherfucker would.
Exactly. Yo, it's not that
There's
difficult.
one thing I know about Lane Kiffin, and I'm sure he's a lot of things. He don't have no heart like that.
No.
He's not going to go to war with a Heisman. The thing is, okay, he's not about to go to war with a white Heisman winner
that won them a championship, undefeated season. He's not
that
doing
Heisman
that.
Trophy matters a lot in that sport still.
Especially there.
Especially there.
He ain't doing it.
You're not doing it to the white Heisman winner. Like, you're not. Like, we have a test case here. I bet no one's even asked for 9. There's the question. Who's had the temerity to ask for 9?
I'm trying to think about that.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the fact that I don't know this young man's name already and he's over here getting 5, oh no. I should know you.
Hold on. Isn't Ed Orgeron still around the program too?
Ed Orgeron's the defensive coordinator. What are you talking about?
How? So wait, hold up.
Thank you. So they should know better.
I was about to say, because I can only imagine. Can I have 9 and just Ed's in his Creole?
The anti-blackness is the only reason the public is taking this. Like, there's no stance where you're like, this all makes sense for LSU, because it's not like you don't have institutional knowledge. Ed's on your staff. You all know better than this. And you're just counting on the media to be like, look at this uppity Negro wants to hold on to his number. Like, look at how crazy he sounds. Like, that's what they're depending on, and it's working. And that's fucking infuriating.
To be honest, where I thought this went too far was when Underdog, which fired all of its the media side, and is only the gambling side, decided to start clowning Jayden Daniels for how he felt about this. I was like, we've reached beyond the pale on this.
It was always orchestrated. When you find yourself on the side of labor over or management over labor, question everything on how you got there. You make no mistake. This is a situation where you're choosing management over labor whose value to their eyes has been exhausted. So you can say Jayden Daniels is crazy, Jayden Daniels, cool. No. Then don't get mad when Ryan Clark gets fired on the air. You used to be a Giants fan because you're crazy.
Yes.
And transitions aren't my strong suit, motherfuckers.
We know. You
used to be a Giants fan. You got off that narcotic like I got off the Falcons. But I got to say, man, you might want to go back.
Why would I want to go back? Jaxon Dart's the quarterback.
This quarterback, he won't be good.
No.
I refuse to lie to you that strongly on my own podcast. I will tell you this. He's my new favorite quote in the league. I don't know why they keep checking me for concussions. I love you.
Like they have two of the same guy in Dart and Scattaboo. They're basically the same guy.
One of them make you the big-headed running back. That makes sense. This shit under center. How many strength and conditioning coaches in this country used to be a quarterback?
That's true.
Give him about 5 years. Jaxon Dart will be back on campus in Oxford talking to motherfuckers about you're gonna live till you hate me.
Yeah. Because he clear like the offense. I'm just wondering what the offensive meetings are like with him. Like you got to have all the lights off.
It's a John Harbaugh joint, baby. Ain't no staff, just vibes. This man kept Greg Roman around. The fuck you think?
Actually, no, hired him multiple times.
Thank you. The same mistake. Oh, like once, shame on you. Twice, hey, Harbs. Not a very good judge of talent here, buddy.
It got rid of Todd Monken when the offense was actually effective.
I'm not gonna talk about Todd thing. Again, once again, please start Deshaun Watson so that he can get hired after 4 games, and then you got to start Shedeur so that I can get Todd back to Evans. The worse this goes for them, the faster Mike Bobo is out of my fucking life.
Sir, you know better.
No better what?
You know better. Mike Bobo was never leaving your life.
Let Mike Bobo stay on as a damn offensive assistant or special envoy to the coach or whatever the fuck. Let him be Mike Lombardi. I don't give a fuck. Keep him from calling my offense on Saturdays. This is ridiculous.
Sir, you know better.
You know how many 1,000-yard receivers Georgia's ever had?
I want to say about 5.
0. 0.
I overestimated. I apologize.
Brock Bowers couldn't break $1,000. He's their favorite thing. A white boy who runs in the middle. They loved that shit.
Him and again, y'all had Ladd McConkey, and Ladd McConkey is cold.
Nigga, we had AJ Green and Matthew Stafford. What are you talking about?
There's that too. But I was just going off for recent. I was just going off for recent.
I gave you Matthew Stafford and AJ Green for 13 games. You couldn't throw for 1,000 yards to him.
Was that the Mark Richt year? Those are the Mark Richt years, right?
I like Coach Rick too much. I'm not going to let you paint it. Those are the Matthew Stafford, AJ Green years. How about that? I'm not going to do that to Coach Rick. I refuse. He's a good man. Very rare thing in college football is a good man who also won football games. Like that's a very
that's true. That's a very
like you give me anybody talking to Coach Hoyer. That's a good guy.
No, I've had a conversation with him once or twice, and he's always been.
Dog, I've talked to him 3 or 4 times, and every time I'm like, he lives his raps. It's wild. It's like, where does Urban Meyer believe all that shit he said? This is who he'd be. He'd be Mark Richt.
Yes.
Adopting kids from overseas. Like, the guy's a really good man. And he played football at Miami, and he came back and coached at Georgia. And then they let him coach Miami for probably a year or two too long because he's just a good guy. Just a really good guy.
Really good guy with some health issues. And that's the sad part. That's the sad part.
It's always the best people, man. Speaking of the worst people succeeding, Terry Arnold's back in the NFL.
Jeez.
For those who don't remember, how do I put this? Terry Arnold's an idiot.
Yeah.
So Terry Arnold was allegedly robbed at an Airbnb. He allegedly responded to this robbery by contacting the police? No. Terry Arnold allegedly found the guys who robbed him. Allegedly. Pistol whipped them on camera and allegedly took his shit back. I'm not going to get into the whys and wherefores of people making bad decisions. We'd be here all day.
Yeah, he pulled an OJ.
Nata.
You're welcome.
They let this motherfucker be talked about on Hard Knocks. And then let the motherfucker sign him. This is one of those, man, if David Stern was alive, he'd shoot somebody in the face for this shit. Like,
no, it's the NFL at their highest heat check.
But like, no, that's not the high. I'm so glad you said that. That's what we call a bait and switch, kids. Welcome to the industry. I'm so glad you said that because that's not the biggest heat check. Not even this fucking week, Nata. You know why?
Why?
Because James Pierce got 8 games.
Fair.
For those of you who don't remember, James Pierce was the first-round draft pick of the Atlanta Falcons last year, led the team in sacks. He then spent his offseason trying to kill his girlfriend with a car. Kia Jackson plays in WNBA. He tried to kill her with a car. And so when people say, I don't watch the NFL because I'm morally against it, I had Chris on last week. He hasn't watched the NFL in years because he's morally against it. And stories like this tell you exactly why. And tell you how morally compromised I am, where I can listen to that story. I can talk to you guys about the story, and I'm still going to be there in week 1. We're all hypocrites, but knowledge means you made the decision.
Yep.
I don't bring these stories up to like, I am denigrating James Pierce. Fuck you, you trash person. I'm denigrating the NFL. Because if Jeffrey Dahmer ran
4-4,
great edge
starting somewhere,
rusher, they'd say he had an eating disorder.
Mm-hmm.
They'd say he had an eating disorder. So, like, I'm not ignorant to how it's set up. I am disgusted with how it presented itself.
I'm just surprised he got 8 games. That's the sad part. Like, I was surprised they suspended him for as long as they did.
I thought he'd get the season. I thought they'd rip him a year. Because like this wasn't like he quietly did some shit. Like it was like nothing else was happening that night on social media or in sports. And he was on a police blotter running her down in the street in a car.
So the only reason I didn't see a full year is because of the Ezekiel Elliott stuff. And I think you remember that. Where Goodell tried to get the 8 games. And this was effectively the death of the domestic violence policy in terms of everything with the NFL, where Ezekiel Elliott got 8 games. Goodell, basically Ezekiel Elliott and Jerry Jones sued and got it reduced to 4. And we've never seen anything remotely close to stringent in terms of the domestic violence policy in any sport, mind you.
Well, in like prepping for this show and thinking about some of the things we're going to talk about, the domestic violence policy is one of the few places where you see unity between union and the ownership. Everywhere else, tooth and nail, cats and dogs. Hey, maybe we don't talk about domestic violence. Dog, couldn't agree more. Double daps. That was the first thing settled. Punish less, talk about it less, say less. Keep it moving. And when you see just how craven that is, and we're going to the NBA next, and let's not pretend this doesn't happen in the NBA too.
Yeah. Miles Bridges.
Miles Bridges. And it's tough because I'm really glad I'm not a Falcons fan because I gave that shit up. Because anytime the first 8 weeks of the season, I watched the Falcons game. Hey, when James Pierce come back? Oh, 3 more games. Oh, why did he suspend it anyway? I'm going to make it weird. I have every intention of doing so. I know the answers to these questions. Should. I'm going to ask them in public. So I want you to talk about it. Because they don't want you to talk about it. They want you to forget. And I don't think you should forget. Call me fucking crazy. Something you shouldn't forget also was that this weekend was induction weekend for the Basketball Hall of Fame. And Nata knows me pretty well. So he knows he thinks he knows what I'm about to do right now.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to this.
But you're wrong. Because this is enshrinement weekend. And though anyone who wanted to could probably Google D Palm and Doc Rivers and find lots of things I've said about Glenn, I'm not doing it this week. This is induction week. It's big for him. And he's in. I'm going to leave off the D word because he probably does deserve it. But it is what it is. He's in.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Doc. Congratulations to the whole class. Congratulations, Candace Parker, who my lasting memory of Candace Parker will always be when she played senior year against one of my best friends, Shawnee Boston, and I watched Shawnee Boston bust that girl's ass for 4 quarters. Get offered from Notre Dame and from Tennessee right then. She went to run track at Penn and become an Olympic alternate because she's still the best athlete I've ever met in my entire life, and she's Matthew's godmother because I'm outsourcing all that kind of shit.
As you should.
Smart. It's called being smart.
As you should.
Did you have anything from the induction weekend that stood out to you? Any highlights you want to point out to?
I was just surprised at the outrage that Amari Stoudemire was a Hall of Famer. I thought we like legislated that one. I thought we legislated that one. Like that one's an obvious one.
So it's a larger conversation about like the hater economy.
Yes.
Because like y'all can, I was there. Pre-microfracture. If his career ends at the microfracture, put him in the Hall. What are we doing? He was the evolutionary step to the bigs we see now. Because the first one with the mid-range, who could also, like, Dirk had the range, but he couldn't finish. He wasn't strong like that. KG, great mid-range, not the best finisher. The first one to combine that shit,
him. Yep.
Stat. They call him Stat because it was a fun thing to say. They called him Stat because you look down at the end of 48 and be like, what the fuck was that? This man had 10 blocks in a game.
That man gave everybody work. Everybody in the West work. Everyone. Duncan, Dirk.
He only had one first team All NBA and 5 second team. Like, go see who were playing forward at that time, and if you can explain why he was second team.
Like he was with.
Did he get 5 there?
Odds. Yeah.
I'm talking about. Hold on, let's go over the forwards in his era. KG, Timmy, Dirk,
Zebo.
Oh my God. Oh, Zebo. Blake.
Yep. Blake at the end, yeah.
His father. I mean, Amari is Blake's father.
Yeah. Blake at the end. There's a like Weber for a couple of those years.
Weber, Camby,
Sheed.
Sheed. So you're telling me him making 5 second team All NBAs, that's not shit? Wrong again, kids. And you're talking about forwards, pure forwards? Melo, Braun. Because guess what? All NBA at the time was positional. 2 forwards, 2 guards, 1 center.
Yeah. This is where you had to be there. He's an absolute, you had to be there to watch it.
So the way I look at it this way, if you're not an overwhelming statistical case, and obviously this shakes up a little bit because of NBA Basketball Hall of Fame, and you got to get Amari's international career as well. For me, it's did the game change because of your presence? And I can tell you right now, he altered the idea that you would pick and roll with your 4 and your 4 would pop. Why isn't he rolling? Wait a second. This isn't right. He changed the way you had to defend things. 7 seconds or less. The big that can run and defend.
People are going to be really upset when Sean Marion gets in too, and I'm going to throw something. I'm going to throw a brick.
The Matrix is my line. I figured out that he's my line. And I'm like, I'm not going to get upset when he's in, but I have a mental note of like, all right, that's the fucking line now, guys. Sean Marion's the line. I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying it makes sense.
But here's the thing. I get it.
Soul has landed.
I get it though. Do you know where my line happens to be?
Who's your line? Who's your line?
Boris Diaw, because we know because of the international stuff. Because of the international stuff.
So, and the international stuff is why I feel better about Boris than I do about Matrix.
Exactly. But Boris Diaw,
I feel better about Boris. I feel like Boris Diaw. I'm not even. Here you go, Batum. Yeah,
as someone that has defended Nick Batum's time,
you are not going to put Nick Batum in the goddamn Hall of Fame.
Absolutely not. But I'm not going to.
He's going to get in.
Well, shit, Kemba Walker's going to get in.
No, he's not.
Think about, again, this is the Basketball Hall of Fame. This is the Basketball Hall of Fame. This is the Basketball Hall of Fame. Let me just remind you of that.
Never played past UConn. Do you pretend the Bobcats never happened?
3-time All-Star. All NBA third teamer.
Is that Rudy Hernandez or is that Kemba Walker? I can't quite make it out from a distance.
That's Kemba Walker. Plus
Rudy's
the UConn run. Plus a UConn
run and a middling NBA career, just not a Hall of Fame.
Middling, 3-time All-Star is a middling and all NBA third teamer.
Yeah, is a one third team and 3 All-Stars. Yeah, it is.
We'll see
for the Hall of Fame.
Basketball Hall of Fame.
And the thing is, I hear people say everyone gets in, and then I get real defensive, and then we have this conversation, and I'm like, they're right. Fuck them.
No, they're all right. Everybody gets in, but at the same time, I like having these conversations over the exclusionary shit that we do with the NFL and
the
NFL
baseball. Is so hard to get in. Like when I see the goal Jackson, those guys break down in tears. I'm like, every one of those tears is earned. They earned. Yes. I can't believe statistically that you got in either. My God, basketball, bruh.
I'd much rather this process, honestly, because we treat it like what it actually is. It's a fucking museum. At the end of the day,
can I tell the hater in me, the true hater in me, is that I was like, Paul Pierce, really? And I know
Paul has earned that though, especially with his latter antics in life.
His behavior has colored the way I look at all his entire career.
He's earned it though. Again, that man got stabbed by Benzino. That man got stabbed by Benzino and might have deserved it.
We don't. No, he did. He got stabbed by unknown parties. Does everyone know that part of this story? Does everyone know that? That like a rapper he used to run the source and beef with him stabbed Paul Pierce.
I don't think everybody knows that, but again, that's
someone just learned that on this podcast.
Like, again, it's one of those you had to be there.
It's one of those things that if you were a certain age at a certain time, you came across information like this much more readily than you would now. And
yes.
The fact that everyone I know knew who stabbed Paul Pierce.
Exactly.
We're gonna move on. But my little brother's senior year of high school, some kids had done some like senior prank where they moved some things around, whatever, part of town. And my mom, I came home from college or something. My mom was like, she named the kids, she named what they did. I go, well, they're gonna get caught. She says, what do you say that? I go, well, you just told me what happened, and you're not Batman. So I assume the police are gonna be able to crack this code.
Yes.
Doc Rivers goes to the Hall of Fame. No comment. Russell Westbrook hangs up the shoes. Tons of comment from your boy. Russell Westbrook is one of those guys you just said had to be there. My God, you had to be there. No one attacked the rim like Brodie. You thought every time he played basketball, it was like his hands. Can he play basketball in gloves? Could you give him some lineman gloves? Because the way he hits a rim, and it wouldn't have hurt his shooting anyway because he's Russell Westbrook. But everywhere he went, he wowed fans one night and exasperated them the next with both his energy and his shot selection. But at the end of the day, he is one of those guys who, except for probably the Lakers run, is in the all-time teammate team, where everyone who's on this team loves having him there again, Lakers accepted. Nata, I could wax philosophic about Russell Westbrook forever. Tell me, how the announcement hit you? Is it one of those things like I was kind of like the idea of Russell Westbrook saying I don't want to play basketball anymore doesn't really make sense to me. No. But I'm glad I understand that's where we are.
So two things come to mind with Russ. One of the later ones was him showing up to the pop out with Kendrick. Like that's one of those things that just, again, you remember certain things, but the more serious answer is you never went to a game with Russell Westbrook. You never watched a game with Russell Westbrook. You never just watched a Russell Westbrook highlight and we're like, damn, I got cheated. That dude gave 100% all the time, no matter what he had to say. Like, even if he was physically 75%, he gave you.
Man,
you never cheated whatsoever with that guy. And when I think about guys that are like he's the last of a dying breed, because I don't think we're gonna get that kind of try hard that got those kind of accolades, and I don't think we're gonna see that for a long, long time. And I think when you don't have those kind of guys that stick to the ribs per se, it creates a detachment from the fans. And actually, the last thing I will say, is he the best player to not win a ring?
No.
For you, who is?
James Harden's not a ring.
Fair.
He's my name for a while. Like that's going name for a while is James Harden. The thing about Russell Westbrook is that he broke the sports media's brains. When I was in high school, one of the things our coaches said that stuck with me forever was that friends had broken America. Not for the reasons that we're all thinking. but because they took the one character who cared about a thing, who was passionate about a thing, and made him the butt of every joke. So it became super cool to be cynical and detached and not try that hard. It became that became the thing to be. And to be passionate, to care, was the kids would call it cringe. Russell Westbrook cares.
Mm-hmm.
On a Tuesday in January, Russell Westbrook cares. And I think that's what was some of the difficulty in coverage of him, was that people couldn't comprehend in an era where, and I think this is obviously a lot of media creation and overblown, but like where the prevailing narrative is, they don't try hard because they don't give a shit or they're lazy. You never, with a straight face, can say that about Brodie.
No.
You're talking about a guy who dropped a very Nipsey Hussle number.
Yes.
In commemoration of his passing. You're talking about a man whose most impassioned press conference were, hey man, ball is ball. Keep my name out of y'all's fucking mouth. Whose big contention after leaving the Lakers was, I'm the only real nigga in here. And so I think in a world that rapidly turned towards the Flash, what you said, stick to the ribs, I love that. The Flash, a man who was built solely on substance, was a man without a country. And someone's going to say, oh, what about other players who just, they just do their jobs? They don't exist anymore, man. Draymond's got a podcast.
You have to have a brand.
If there isn't a player in the world who should shut the fuck up and do his job, rebound and get these assists, nigga, shut the fuck up. It's Draymond Green. But everyone's a brand now. Everyone's something they say they're not. Russell Westbrook cut holes in clothes, called it fashion, and nobody said shit about it. Y'all let him get away with that shit for years.
To be fair.
Because you knew he meant it.
To be fair, his wife, here's the other thing. His wife was the genius and the brains behind all of the fashion stuff that actually worked. We got to give like Nina Westbrook some credit on that one. I do feel like
I have one. I've been so earnest
I'm
this
sorry.
whole time. I've done like
I'm
7
sorry.
minutes of earnest Russell Westbrook reflection. I may have told one joke. You're like, oh, actually, motherfucker, I'll make you feel bad because I'm making you feel bad because that was his wife. Like, okay, cool.
No, I'm saying the shit that worked. No, hold on. I'm saying the shit that worked. We credit her. The bricks, like every other Russell Westbrook.
There we go. We're back. Lock the fuck back in. I love it. Do you have a favorite? I'm trying to think of having a favorite Russell moment.
It's him in Utah. Him and the fans in Utah. Easily.
Did he do a Pat Bev?
Yes, Pat Bev.
Didn't he fuck up Pat Bev really good?
Yeah. Well, remember,
my distaste for Pat Bev makes that stand out.
Pat Bev went at his knees, remember?
That's what it was, a dirty son bitch. Oh my God. Yo, y'all like Pat Bev has a podcast. I don't know if he still does.
Yes, he does.
Ugh, it's terrible. All right, man. So let's move on to more NBA stuff before we get out of here. You and I have been texting about this one today. Shams Charania, wrong twice today. Like big wrong. Not small wrong, big wrong.
Yeah.
First one, super wrong about the Clippers thing. This is also proof that I'm over like, why isn't Steve Ballmer throwing money at this? He is. I forgot how many media members he bought. I apologize. That's on me. I thought he'd have this little motherfucker killed by now, personally. But there was a report on ESPN today, multi-sourced, saying that the NBA found nothing. The NBA was very quickly like, hey, you don't get to do that. Now, the thing about it now is when they do find nothing, what do we do?
So it's funny because, like, it's very obvious that this came from the Clippers because the Clippers had a statement quite literally. They could have timed the statement out a little bit longer.
They may have, yeah.
They could have timed it like you set the release for like noon Eastern. Like the story came out at 11. Their statement came out at 11:05 to make it look like to just be like you were
hand in glove, baby.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have done this, but again, I do. Again, I'm not one to quote Kevin O'Connor much, but I do think that was a negotiation. That entire story is a negotiation,
an ongoing one.
Ongoing, and you're probably wondering, like, why are you negotiating if there's nothing there? It's because there's a beautiful thing called discovery, which the NBA is
it's
trying
also because
to avoid.
There's definitely something there.
There is also that.
It's also largely because there's something there. Something you said before the show. You don't care about the story. Tell me why this story hasn't, like, for me, it's one, like, okay, let me do my part first. For me, it's a multifold cool story. One, someone gave my stoner friend a budget, and
no, I do need to clarify. I'll clarify on this.
I know. I'm just going over why the many layers of which this tickles me. Two, the dumbest criminals.
Yeah,
like it's not even like, oh, these are serious crimes. They're not crimes. They're breaking rules that they set for themselves. But it's further proof positive that rich people lack imagination. If you want ingenuity, you go to someone who have shit. If you have all these resources, they don't have the thoughts to say, maybe I should protect or not do this shit, or maybe I should not openly beg you to make our star do things for you guys to put this thing to make. The Dactronics emails are my favorite thing.
Yes.
3, it is an account of what wealth will allow you to do. And there are very few avenues that we have in this country anymore through the destruction of the investigative wings that can actually say, hey, this is what power will do to you if you let it. And because no one gives a shit about sports, that's why Steve Ballmer hid himself behind an LLC with one member and one owner, his own fucking name. Because it's just lazy. Yeah. And so what they'll do to win Kawhi Leonard and to make one Western Conference final, what wouldn't they do to screw over your pension? What wouldn't they do to fuck over your drinking water? What wouldn't they do to hurt your kids? So, like, that's the larger meta reason why I like to keep a spotlight on this story, because I want people to see it's not a sports story. It's a consumer story. That's why I care.
That's fair. But and I guess where I'm at is, and a lot of this for me comes to my issue with the myopia of NBA media right now, that think that they're in some special club where because again, I remember this just like you, where you had NBA media, granted some of it was Ethan Strauss, that would basically beg, why can't the NBA be more like the NFL? And then we have salary cap circumvention, which otherwise Mickey Loomis calls Tuesday. So we have that. So we have all that. So I it's a myopic story for me, because again, they're like, what about you're saying that the NBA, no one's going to, the rules don't matter in the NBA and billionaires can do this and this. And part of me is like, newsflash, folks, billionaires do other shit. And again, unfortunately, do a lot more horrible shit in other sports. I need you to understand the landscape that you are in as a whole, quite honestly. It's a myopia that bothers me. Another reason, and shout out to Rich Fan, because when he listens to this, he's going to understand exactly what I'm saying. I watch Premier League soccer, specifically Man City. Do you understand what, again, there's a beautiful thing they call financial fair play, where you're not supposed to transfer in more money than you take out. Man City treats those tickets and everything like utter corruption. Is like, I watch European soccer. I can't force myself.
I'm so mad I was muted. I was yelling at you like a motherfucker. Look,
I know.
Don't change venue to win an argument, 1. And 2, just because y'all have been beaten down by the blatant corruption of soccer doesn't mean I've got to be like, oh, give me some NBA, please. I'll say this. The Lakers just got flipped like a house.
Man, look.
A couple years ago, we all looked crazy when old buddy, who just asked for a loan, bought the Suns for $4 million. Shut up, man, Ishbia. Then the Celtics went for 6. We were like, oh shit, the Celtics went for 6. Then 3 years later, the Lakers went for 10. And then I keep saying a year later, but it's not true. The sale didn't go through until October.
10 months later.
So 10 months later, again, in the name of accuracy, 10 months later, going for 12. Now that you and I both read the news, you and I can both read other articles, other people here. this is a better sports show than you're going to get a lot of the places. So I'm not going to hold your hands through all the way we got here. But this is a man under investigation who's selling off assets. And we look at the last time the Dodgers changed hands, how he got it in the first place. He bought it from a man who bought the team with no assets. And as I say all the time, sports are a test kitchen for America and the world writ large. Nata, welcome back to All the Money's Fake.
Dog, there's so much to this story. There's so much. Because again, people like he sold off, speaking of European soccer, that man sold off his Chelsea stakes today.
We'll see if he selling off the Dodgers by the end of the week. Like, honestly, God, like I'm waiting for that deadline.
And we talk again, mind you, we talked about the strike before. What happens if the Dodgers lose their big money train? Because again, remember, all that was done with deferred contracts that are the bill is going to eventually come due on those. And you're going to have about 10, 12 Bobby Bonilla-like contracts where those guys are going to be paid into their 50s because they're not going to be able to afford those balloon payments at the end of the day. That's where we are with Guggenheim.
In case you're wondering why baseball wants a salary cap so goddamn bad, it's because the billionaires are dumb, as evidenced by everything, by part 15 of Pablo Torre being like, look at how dumb these billionaires are. They did everything in the open that's easily accessible through a FOIA request.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I go back to that story all the time because, again, I don't like these stories because of what is going to happen. I can't control that. I can control a billionaire being publicly embarrassed by a small Filipino man repeatedly, to the point where I know that this man's name ruins Steve Ballmer's day. At the very least, Pablo Torre ruined Steve Ballmer's day 15 times so far in the last year.
16 this week because apparently he's got an episode coming.
Nata, I cannot stress enough how much I enjoy the little deaths of like just make a billionaire mad. Just keep making billion. Dude, if I knew a person who's making each billionaire mad, this entire podcast would be me dedicating a 10-minute block to each one of those people to talk about them making billionaires mad, like individually antagonizing.
We're just lucky we know who Pablo Torre is, because if it was someone we didn't know, they wouldn't exist anymore. We both
he'd have fallen out of a window. If someone's like, I put sand in Oprah's shoes every morning, I'd be like, come on to the podcast, let's talk about it. Because I need someone to just inconvenience these assholes, these monsters, these nation states given legs and feet. Like, I don't like them. And like, it's petty, it's small. Fine. I'm petty and small. Sue me. I think that Steve Ballmer being inconvenienced by this man who has a bong, a budget, and curiosity is hilarious to me.
And the sad part is, like, he's taking his time off the Chapel Hill beat to do this to Steve Ballmer.
He's doing it
because
they had the Daktronics story a week after part 1 came out.
Yeah.
That's the thing that kills me. I was like, now we've reached the showmanship part of the presentation. Because he quote tweeted Shams' report today before the NBA was like, not so fast, my friend. She was like, I'm really glad they did this. And I'm super excited for what comes next.
Exactly. Like, that's the crazy, like, the funniest thing this week, and we talked about it like in text though, because again, just to go back to Shams. Do you know the one story Shams wasn't on in the last 2 weeks?
If Shams gets outed by everyone, I'd be so happy.
Because
what's the one story now to tell the people?
Because Shams was not in on that Lakers story, that Lakers sale story.
He's chasing it, dog. You can see him chasing it. It's fucking wild.
Like and not only did he not report on it, he wasn't anywhere close. Like, he didn't say anything I want to say that day. That was Ramona Shelburne, who, mind you, has a personal connection with Jeannie Buss, which is why she would get that story before anybody else at ESPN. Like, so there is that portion of this, but Ramona Shelburne got that. Ramona Shelburne's also been in this LA stuff. Shams is barely there. It's almost like that guy is a CAA plant. It's almost. I'm not going to call him that out fully because I like a job, but I'm just saying, you start looking at the agencies and everything else, and just take a look at who owns what and what agency they're at. You're welcome.
I'm really excited for Pablo to start looking into Josh Kushner, Bob Iger, and Mark Walter. Like, he's already got people out in the West Coast. Like, stay in the same city. Don't change your hotels. Just pivot.
Kirshner will, again, that'll get him killed. That will get him killed. We both know. Like
Get him a second Pulitzer, though.
Yeah. Fair.
He get that posthumous, bitch. He get that posthumous. He's got the. Everyone's like, well, the NBA said there's no findings, and meanwhile, Pablo's like, I have a Pulitzer for this story. What are you talking about?
Yep.
I think,
and they said that's so like the fact that the NBA came out, like that's the other portion of this. Like the NBA came out so fast and rebuked the NBA in a way that we haven't seen in like the NBA rebuke.
What's the fastest way to fuck up open negotiations? Talking about negotiations.
And more importantly, like think about it like this. ESPN subjects us to Kendrick Perkins 8 months out of the year. We've never gotten a faster rebuke from the NBA before this about ESPN. Stephen A. Smith been talking about them for years, which mind you is going to stop, which is also going to stop, mind you, because the Iger stuff. I believe that Bob Iger is going to be like,
let's do this. I was ready to close. I was ready to close this motherfucker out. So, Stephen A. Smith's behavior is not gone unnoticed. This past weekend, friend of the show, Roderick Morrow and Kay Morrow were on a panel at the NABJ, the Association of Black Journalists convention, and they came out and spoke very harshly about someone they've invited to their convention in the last 3 years. So, kind of an empty threat. They did say they wanted to point out Stephen A. Smith's continued negative attitude, speech, and contributions regarding the black women in the world. All very harsh language. Nata immediately undercut by calling it the thumbs down award. You spineless.
Yeah. Yep. NABJ is disappointing. And I say that as a former member. Because, and do we want to talk about why I'm a former member? Because 2 years ago, they put out an invite for one Donald J. Trump to show up. Mm-hmm. And not only did he show up, he managed to question Kamala Harris's ethnicity in front of a whole block of black journalists, and wasn't no pushback.
Zero.
None.
But the least they gave Stephen A. Smith, the coveted
thumbs down.
Oh,
messy for no reason whatsoever.
You could have kept saying nothing.
But honestly, like, here's the thing, and again, I get it, and I like Phil Lewis, but if Phil Lewis doesn't say anything, if Phil Lewis doesn't tweet about it, do we hear about this at all?
Yeah.
Or does it not?
Yeah,
I'm
we would
not
have heard
sure
about it because he would have put a light on it. It's a thing about him. It's a thing about him.
He'd have made it.
You don't know. You don't underestimate P.T. Barnum over here. He'd have found some fucking way to make a promo, even if we'd never heard. Did y'all hear about this? No. Well, let me tell you.
But you know what? If you do it that way, but if they do it that way, they're still okay. We're not looking at them funny for this entire thing.
Yeah, I'll look at the funny forever. I'll look at this man funny forever. It was unnecessary. There's always going to be a job for a black person when you talk bad about black people in front of white people. That person will always have a job. And him and Jason.
But remember, there can only be one.
Ask Jason. Ask Jason.
Hiding in the streets of Nashville.
Is he in Nashville now?
Yo, you did. That was the.
I don't know. I have legitimately excise that person from even my peripherals.
Jabba the Whitlock. That was the one thing about the Stephen A. That was the one thing about the Stephen A. rant about Jabba the Whitlock that was hilarious. Apparently, that man is hiding in the suburbs of Nashville.
So Franklin?
Probably.
You can't say we're people you can't say suburbs of Nashville to. I was like, well, let's start naming towns. Hold on, we can
probably again. Here's the thing: it's the suburbs.
Which of these suburbs are we talking about?
But again, we're talking about the suburbs of Nashville. He's a black man. He ain't gonna be that fucking hard to find. Let's be real.
He's that black man.
Yes.
Hard to find.
He ain't gonna be that hard to find.
Oh, Nata. I'm gonna have you on when Susan gets back because we're gonna go over NBA over unders. I normally do it with Mike, but Mike don't want me on the camera, which is fine. So we're gonna go over NBA over unders. We're gonna keep track of them, and when I beat you, I'll take a victory lap in the season. Very excited about it. But until that time, my friend, will you do me a huge favor and tell everyone they can find all of your good work?
Well, for the next couple of weeks, we're still doing stuff with the NBA Yahoo, again, NBA Yahoo site, Dunker Spot. We're doing stuff with the Kevin O'Connor Show, Big Number. Occasionally doing stuff with Yahoo Sports Daily, and keep it locked because again, Channel 6 is going to be the Channel 6 weekly again pregame podcast. I work on that. Full Cast After Dark. We're doing a little bit more with that. I'll be producing. Occasionally, you might hear my voice on Full Cast After Dark. So we're doing all of that and heading into the winter. College football season is here. We are no longer, again, we don't have to worry about baseball anymore. Well, we never really did worry about baseball, but we really don't have to worry about baseball anymore for the next couple of years. And therefore, like, again, follow me on Nata the Scribe, all on socials. You'll find me and you'll find the work that I'm doing.
My friend, always good to have you, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. We're going to see if we can have something back for you guys on Friday with Felder. If not, you're going to have a bonus episode filled in here with some of the archival audio footage. But until that time, that was your show. There is no outro. We'll see you guys hopefully later this week.